If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. It can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the Anchor app today. Go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm to get started today.
This is Shockwave News Live. You can find me online at shockwavenews.com and, of course, twitter.com/Shockwave News 1. And right here on Spreaker, that's Spreaker.com/Shockwave News. And right here on Anchor, that's Anchor.fm, Anchor.fm/Shockwave News. Like, share, subscribe if you like this podcast. Okay, I want to talk to you about something that's been very disturbing to me, probably disturbing to a lot of you folks out there listening to this podcast, and that is the inability of the government, the House and Senate, to pass a stimulus bill. In other words, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer and company on the House, and of course, Mitch McConnell, the majority leader in the Senate, in order to come to some type of terms along with the White House, Steve Mnuchin, and everybody to just sit down and to come together. I think this ought to tell you folks that if President Trump, he has created an executive order, we'll have to see how that's going to shake out. We'll just have to see. I'm very, very skeptical. I want to know, like most of you want to know out there, when are we going to get any type of stimulus relief from the coronavirus? Most of you folks believe, and I know you believe, and I know a lot of you are hurting. I'm hurting as well. A lot of people here in Florida are hurting. A lot of businesses are gone, and they're not coming back. And I guess what bothers me the most is how out of touch these bastards are up there on Capitol Hill, House and the Senate. Even the president's financial team there, the Treasury team, and it's just Steve Mnuchin. I mean, it's crazy. They don't have a fucking clue of what's going on, folks, and that really bothers me. It bothers me how out of touch they are. It bothers me the common, ordinary, everyday person. You might have been in construction. You might have been a waitress or a waiter in a restaurant, maybe a cook. You might have had an office job, been working maybe in a law office or just maybe a high-rise building, but you're working in an office environment. Just anybody, just the person that runs the parking garage, just the person that delivers your packages, maybe FedEx or UPS or whatever. Yeah, it's just absolutely, positively incredible how out of touch these bastards are up there on Capitol Hill. And I guess my frustration is they act like, and I just want to point out something here for you folks, they act like that is their money and they're controlling the purse strings, which in essence, in a way, they are. However, let me point out just a couple of things. It's not their money. We, as United States citizens, pay tax through the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. And of course, that's a scam. Don't get me going on that. We'll go into that in another podcast sometime. But that's how we pay taxes in this country. Are we supposed to pay taxes? A majority of us do. Okay, that money that they collect, they never once told us where all of that damn money is going. Well, guess what? They take that millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they'll say, well, we put it towards the national debt. Well, let's just do this. Who the fuck's running up the national debt? Is it me? No. Is it the ordinary person out there listening? No, I don't think so. Who is running up the national debt? It is the bureaucrats, the politicians in Washington cutting deals with lobbyists and gimme. That's all the lobbyists want. And they go back to these politicians. And I don't care if you're left or right. I don't care if this offends you or not. This is just the bottom line. This is just the truth of what's going on. And with that said, they go back and they bribe these politicians. And while they bribe these politicians, the bills will start in the House. They'll go through a committee or two there, and then they bring it to the floor for a vote. And because the House of Representatives here in the United States is controlled, obviously, by Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party, they'll push through a bill 99% of the time. Then it goes to the Republicans. It goes to the Senate. Well, the Senate is still controlled by a majority of Republicans, not very many, just I think it's 4 or 5 or 6 now. And they have the ability, Mitch McConnell, to just stop the bill, to just absolutely stop it. Well, what happens is the Democrats will bring a bill and they'll push a bill through. They'll go to the Republicans. Then these lobbyists will get, conservative lobbyists and stuff will get on Mitch McConnell, and they'll start bribing him to bring a bill to the floor. Then the 100 senators there, they'll vote on it. And so that's what happens. The lobbyists get to everybody on both sides of the aisle. The Republicans are just as bad as the Democrats. There is no good party here. If you folks out there listening to this think that you have the winning party, that there is a this person or that person that's going to save you, let me tell you right now, that's not going to happen. You're full of shit. I'm just going to say that. Excuse my language, but you're full of shit. That's not going to happen. Nobody is going to save you. No one man is going to save you. President Trump is not going to save you. He has limited, let me put that again, limited power. And if the Republicans don't take back the majority in hold the Senate, but take back the majority in the House of Representatives, not shit is going to get done in November. If he wins, which it looks like he probably will, not shit is going to get done. Okay? You folks have to understand how politics work. If you have a majority, then you control. If you don't have the majority, and in this case it has to be a wide majority, at least in the House, then it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So the Democrats have a huge majority in the House. They can push shit through. But Mitch McConnell on the GOP, the Republican-controlled Senate, says no, nothing gets done. So that brings me back to my point right here and right now. When the hell are we going to get our stimulus? And the answer is nobody seems to fucking know. Nobody seems to fucking know, and there's this rhetoric from Washington and President Trump on there. Oh, I'm going to sign executive order. Well, let me just tell you something, folks. I want to just explain something because it really just starts to piss me off after a while that we have to go through this nonsensical bullshit all the time. Like anything and anybody else, you have a president that has to have the authority to go ahead and pass bills through executive order, which he does. But again, passing a payroll tax cut, I'm just going to be honest, I don't give a fuck. And to be honest, the majority of people out there that are unemployed too, we don't give a fuck. They probably don't give a fuck. They just need a little bit of help. They don't need handouts for the rest of their life. They just need a little bit of help. Because I'm going to tell you, this Gates, Fauci, Deborah Birx, Chinese Wuhan virus that was set and was spread all over the world fucking crashed the economy. And like I said before, there's a lot of businesses that will never, ever, ever return from that, okay? They're mom and pop businesses, folks. They're just not coming back, at least down here in Central Florida, okay? That's the bottom line. And so because of that, the economy crashed. You know, like anything else, these bastards up here, and I do mean bastards with a capital B, they want to dole out $1,200 like we're jumping up and down and we're thankful we got our little tiny, teeny, tiny $1,200. If you stretch that out, what was that back in maybe March or April or whatever? Excuse me. That they sent this money. Do you really, are you really that fucking crazy and that party, you're attached to a quote unquote single party in parentheses on the left or the right that you can't see through the bullshit? This is from both sides. These people play like a bunch of spoiled little fucking brats. Ask how much these senators, like Ocasio-Cortez and Mitch McConnell on the right and Ocasio-Cortez on the left, they go to committee and they get hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, the poor folks out here that are unemployed still, trying to do desperately just to hope and pray that they can get unemployment, just don't even know how they're going to pay their electric bill, don't even know if their car's going to be repossessed. What the fuck are you going to tell these employees? And the answer is they don't give a fuck. They just think, okay, you guys are the poor measly, you guys are the poor, pathetic little serfs, and you guys are the little servants, and you guys are the help. We'll throw you some breadcrumbs and we'll throw you $1,200 and call it a day. Well, let me tell you, folks, that money that they think they're going to throw us, that's our money to begin with. That's known as tax money, a lot of that. Okay? It's how they spend our tax money. They don't want to ever do like Dr. Ron Paul wanted to do when he was in office, go ahead and audit the Fed. They don't want to do that, the Federal Reserve. They don't want to do that, to go ahead and audit the Treasury or audit the Fed, because the U.S., the average person here in the U.S. would go crazy. I mean, absolutely fucking ballistic if they knew, and let's say they're paying, anywhere from $5,000, the very, very poor, to maybe $25,000 or $50,000 more a year in taxes. They would just shit their fucking pants, and anywhere in between, if they knew their hard-earned, very hard-earned money, on the average maybe $10,000 or $11,000 or $12,000 a year going to the government, that they would shit their pants if they knew where the spending was actually going and the waste was actually going up there on Capitol Hill. These demons and these fuckers of both parties, okay? I'm just sick of it and I'm over it. Again, my party loyalty is down the fucking shitter. I don't care. I vote for the individual because I am an independent. I vote for the individual, not the party. That's been mistakes of the past. That's been some of my mistakes in the past. You get caught up on an on an individual with all the fancy words and this and that. To be honest, is Joe Biden qualified? Well, fuck no. Anybody can see he's got dementia. Is Trump going to kill him in November? Well, of course. But they've already said they're going to try to take President Trump out. So, if the Democratic Party wants something, they go to George Soros and his fucking overpaid goons. And once they go to George Soros, Clinton will go to Soros and Clinton will say, please take out Trump. And so Soros will arrange and pay somebody, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to take out Trump, and they'll try to do that. That's why Trump said in the last speech he gave that you might not see him for a long, long time, because he's had death threats against him. A lot of people don't know that. And like I said, both parties are guilty. Both parties are not worth a fucking shit. Both parties need to be completely scrapped. The system needs to be scrapped. And I'm not talking about these stupid, and start all over again. I'm not, not talking about the stupid progressive either, because the progressives are just fucking loony bins. They want to do Green New Deals and they want to do this crazy fucking shit. How the fuck are you going to do a Green New Deal and you got 30 to 50 million people unemployed, jackass? How the fuck are you going to do that? Oh, well, we're just going to create more government money and where the fuck are you going to get the government money? Where does that come from, jackass? You know where that comes from, It's the idiot people out here that don't understand that. The government money comes from me and it comes from you. And when these jackasses and idiots want the Green New Deal or they want this or they want that and everything else, guess what? It comes from us. And we have to pay for it. So let's get this straight. A little critical thinking here. I notice no fucking people on the internet have that anymore. As idiots as they are, they just talk and talk and talk, and they can't think critically. And that's very, very, very sad that they can't think critically. There is none of that anymore. So I'm becoming a dinosaur on the internet, I guess is what I am. This and my other podcast. It's very, very, very sad. Nobody can critically think. But if you want to create the Green New Deal, for example, where's the money coming from? It's coming from me and you. So, okay, let's get this straight. You have anywhere from 25 to maybe 35, and soon they predict by October or November, just before the election, up to 50 million people unemployed all throughout the United States. You're going to tax the living shit out of people for a Green New fucking Deal and still let everybody be unemployed. And you're going to say, wee, I got a Green New Deal. It's all about the money. And there again, just like Ocasio-Cortez, she might have had good intentions going in, but she's now pushing the Green New Deal and has been for a long time. And then she's kind of backed off a little bit. She realizes, and it's like you have to be a crook. And that's what people are. They don't care really about the poor. They don't care about the unemployed. They just care about their pocketbook and how much power they can achieve, folks. That's what this is always about, how much power you can achieve. They don't care about God. They don't care about taking care of the poor. They don't care about taking care of the homeless and drug-addicted people, or the veterans, either one. They don't care about any of that shit. They just care about themselves and how they can profit themselves and their pocketbook. That's it. And most people won't say that. And it's the same thing on the right. You fucking have the turtle there in the Senate. The turtle. You can obviously tell I don't care for Mitch McConnell. No, I don't. He is a master manipulator and has been in the Senate for years and years, way too long. 30 years or so? He's been there way too fucking long, 20 to 30 years. He keeps getting elected because he's in the pocket of the fucking people and lobbyists in the state of Kentucky. He needs to have another maybe conservative or independent or somebody come in and knock his ass out of the fucking Senate. And then somebody would say, oh my God, Shockwave, you're crazy. Why do you say that? Then the Republicans lose control. I didn't say that. Have another conservative with conservative principles that isn't bought and sold by the Kentucky lobbyists and miners associations and everything that they have there in Kentucky. Mitch McConnell's in their pocket. The turtle doesn't do anything. The turtle holds up fucking bills, folks, in Congress, and he holds them up for weeks and months at a time. Even he has bills as to late last year he still has on his desk, and he refuses to even look at them. He refuses to even bring it to the Senate floor. Worthless piece of shit. Do your fucking job, Mitch McConnell. The turtle won't. The turtle don't give a fuck. Just like Nancy Pelosi, she don't give a fuck. She has to cater to her job's maybe a little more difficult, where Mitch McConnell can just set it down and fuck it. He controls the Senate there since he's the majority leader. He controls the Senate. He can kind of do what he wants. He's got a job for 6 years, and his term comes up every 6 years, where the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, it's every 2 years. Every 2 years they have a turnover there. So new people coming in, sometimes the old going out. Her job's a little more difficult. You have to deal with the kook wackos, Ocasio-Cortez, the Squad and company, and the fucking nutcases on that side pushing this, 50 million people unemployed. Let's push the Green New Deal. Let's tax everybody so we can smile and save the air. That's the biggest fucking fraud I've ever seen in my life, folks. It's just an absolute fraud. And you're absolutely stupid if you don't do your homework. You're absolutely retarded if you don't do something and just do some basic research. And I don't mean Google research. Go on DuckDuckGo. Go on Quant, Quant, another good search engine, quant.com, DuckDuckGo.com, and go look up some real fucking search results other than what Google tells you to think all the time. Don't be so fucking stupid and dumb. Do your homework, folks. Just please do your homework. You know, we have to open our eyes in this pandemic. People are hurting. This, and then President Trump runs and jumps around. Oh, I got 1.2 million jobs. Yeah, but you have, 20 million people, 30 million people out of work. Who gives a fuck about 1.2 million jobs created if you have 30 million people out of work? So even if you have 1 million jobs, you're still in the whole 29 million. What the fuck? Can't people do math up there, Steve Mnuchin? Whatever the fuck the Treasury guy's name is. I mean, it's incredible that the people on Capitol Hill treat us like a bunch of fucking animals that we can't understand anything. We're just the sheeple. I don't believe it sometimes. My eyes roll. Where the fuck is the critical thinking, folks? I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I just pray God has mercy on all of us and we can really get through this fake pandemic coronavirus. I've been telling everybody that I see here in Central Florida, you know, this is some people, again, and here's my caveat, because I'm going to get people, as I always do on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Oh, what are you telling Shockwave News? You're full of shit. And there's people dying left and right. No, the numbers are created and they're made up. This is how it is. I just seen something and heard something from medical professionals. Okay, some of the hospitals around here in Central Florida are crowded, but a lot of the clinics, and almost 90 to 100%, everybody that walked in for coronavirus testing, COVID-19 folks, came back positive. So of course the numbers were going to lead the entire United States and spreading an infection. They're faking the fucking numbers. Why are they faking the numbers? Duh! You know why they're faking the numbers. It's because they hate President Trump, okay? I don't agree with President Trump with the bullshit. I don't agree with this bullshit with the stimulus. It needs to be twice $1,200. There's a lot of things with President Trump I don't agree. But what I do agree with President Trump is that this is a bunch of bullshit. This is a setup plot. One of the plots, one of the many, many, many things they have going right now to get him the fuck out of office. This is one of the plots that they have to try to get rid of President Trump, one of his allies, the governor of the great state of Florida here, Governor Ron DeSantis. Okay? They want to get rid of these guys. They want to get rid of the people that voted for Trump. They cannot stand the people that voted for Trump. They want to do him away. They want to get rid of him, folks, any way possible. And that means, of course, any way possible, including taking President Trump out. They want to do that. Nancy Pelosi's got up. You can find YouTube. There's tons of times, at least a couple dozen times there, she's got up and said, President Trump, and I quote, will be gone either just before or just after the election. But one way or another, President Trump's going to be gone, quote unquote. That's what Nancy Pelosi has said. So they'll take President Trump out regardless. They're going to try to. So those people, regardless of your party affiliation, okay, again, whether you're left or right or in the center or independent like myself or libertarian, what have you, if you believe in liberty, if you believe in the good people here in the United States, if you believe in justice, freedom for all, and you believe in God most importantly, okay, you'll vote your conscience, vote your heart, and your vote for President Trump. That's all I got to say. Okay, this is Shockwave News. You can find me online at shockwavenews.net. Find me online also at Spreaker.com/Shockwave News and Anchor. That's Anchor.fm, Anchor.fm/Shockwave News. and right here on Twitter, twitter.com/Shockwave News 1. This is Shockwave News signing off. God bless you and your families. Take care, folks.